Keir Starmer, once hailed as the Labour Party's beacon of integrity, is now at the centre of a political storm. Revelations of lavish donations, including expensive personal gifts from high-profile donors, have sparked outrage across the UK. The scandal took a dramatic turn when GB News host Michelle Dewberry unleashed a blistering attack on Starmer's character, accusing him of lacking self-respect and dignity. This latest controversy raises broader questions about the integrity of political leaders and whether Starmer can survive the intense public scrutiny. Is this the beginning of the end for the Labour leader? Stay tuned as we dive into the scandal, but before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe for all the latest updates in UK politics. The controversy began when reports emerged that Starmer's wife, Lady Victoria Starmer, had received a significant financial donation from Labour donor and businessman Lord Wahid Ali. This money covered personal expenses such as a personal shopper, clothes and alterations. But that wasn't all. Soon after, it came to light that Starmer had also accepted a corporate box at Arsenal Football Club and concert tickets to see Taylor Swift, each gift valued at tens of thousands of pounds. Together, these donations have raised serious ethical concerns. Speaking from Italy, Starmer attempted to calm the storm by assuring the public that all rules are being followed, emphasizing his commitment to transparency in political donations. However, his remarks have done little to quell the growing backlash. Critics argue that even if the rules were followed, the optics of accepting such extravagant gifts conflict with the values of fairness and integrity that Starmer has long advocated. Enter Michelle Dewberry, the outspoken host of GB News, who seized the opportunity to deliver a fiery rant about the Labour leader's behaviour. Dewberry, in her signature no-nonsense style, questioned whether Starmer had any self-respect left, calling the entire situation appalling. Dewberry's argument hit home for many, especially those who see Starmer's actions as emblematic of a political class that has become increasingly out of touch with ordinary citizens. What kind of grown-up individual, a professional one, needs another person to pay for their spectacles, needs another person to buy their wife's clothes? Dewberry fumed during her broadcast. Take away every other aspect of everything. Where's your self-respect? Have a word with yourself. It's appalling. Her pointed criticism resonated across social media as viewers echoed similar frustrations. Can a man who is supposed to champion the working class really justify receiving these kinds of gifts? Even if no rules were broken, does it not reflect poorly on Starmer's judgment? The public is left asking whether this scandal reveals deeper issues about his character and decision-making. Adding fuel to the fire, political commentator Aaron Bastani also weighed in, expressing disbelief at Starmer's acceptance of these high-value donations. Bastani focused on the absurdity of a man like Starmer, who has been earning a substantial six-figure salary for years, needing someone else to pay for personal items. His critique went beyond the monetary value of the donations, warning that Starmer's behaviour was diminishing the dignity of his office. I struggle to understand why you need somebody else spending £2,485 on your glasses. This is a man in his early 60s who's been earning six figures for a pretty long time, Bastani said during an interview. He continued, "It makes the Prime Minister, which is meant to be the highest elected office in this land, look almost ridiculous and cheap." Bastani's comments cut to the heart of the issue. The Prime Minister's office is one of the most respected institutions in the UK. When the holder of that office engages in behaviour that seems more fitting for a reality TV star than a head of state, it diminishes the stature of the role. As Starmer tries to ride out this storm, his failure to appreciate the gravity of the situation is only making things worse. Peter Hitchens, a columnist known for his sharp observations, also entered the conversation, further criticising Starmer's apparent lack of judgment. Hitchens described Starmer's acceptance of these gifts as odd, suggesting that the Prime Minister might be entirely clueless about the damage he is doing to his reputation. "What I think increasingly is that he is perhaps actually clueless," Hitchens remarked. "Maybe he doesn't actually have anything much in the way of an imagination. Maybe he is a sort of man without qualities who really doesn't have the sort of ideas about how to behave that most people are granted." The criticism from Hitchens adds another layer to the public's growing disillusionment with Starmer. His remarks, coupled with those of Dewberry and Bastani, paint a picture of a leader who is disconnected from the values of responsibility and humility that many in the UK expect from their politicians. As the scandal continues to unfold, Starmer's credibility is at risk, and Labour supporters are left wondering whether this controversy could cost them the next general election. While Keir Starmer grapples with the fallout from his donation scandal, the Conservative Party is embroiled in its own internal struggles. Former Prime Minister John Major issued a stark warning against the idea of merging with Nigel Farage's Reform UK, calling such a move fatal for the Tories. Major's comments have sparked a debate within the party, as some Conservatives view Farage's populist appeal as a potential electoral asset. Farage, known for his outspoken and often polarising views, has long been a thorn in the side of the political establishment. His leadership of Reform UK has drawn in a significant number of voters, many of whom were once loyal to the Conservative Party. However, Major and other senior Conservatives are wary of the long-term damage that could be done if Farage's disruptive brand of politics is allowed to infiltrate their ranks. Speaking to the BBC, Major warned, "We lost 5 seats to Reform UK, and people are jumping up and down, and some rather reckless people are saying, well, we must merge with them. Well, that will be fatal." The division within the Conservative Party was further highlighted by leadership candidate Kemi Badenoch, who acknowledged that Reform UK supporters were once our people. While she praised Farage for his ability to disrupt the political status quo, Badenoch made it clear that he would not be welcome in the party under her leadership. "He has said that he wants to destroy the Conservative Party, so I think that's probably a no," Badenoch quipped in a recent interview. Her comments reflect the fine line the Tories must walk as they attempt to win back voters who have drifted toward Farage's populist message without alienating their traditional base. At the heart of the issue is the question of whether the Conservative Party can maintain its appeal to the centre-right while fending off challenges from more extreme factions like Reform UK. As they prepare for the next general election, the party faces the difficult task of balancing its political alliances and its core values. Keir Starmer's political future hangs in the balance as the fallout from the donation scandal continues to grow. Michelle Dewberry's passionate takedown, combined with the mounting criticisms from figures like Aaron Bastani and Peter Hitchens, has placed the Labour leader in an unenviable position. His attempts to defend his actions by pointing to transparency rules have done little to mitigate the damage, and the public's trust in his leadership is quickly eroding. With a general election on the horizon, Starmer's ability to weather this scandal could determine the Labour Party's future. Will voters see this as an isolated incident, or will it become the defining moment of his leadership? The stakes have never been higher, and Starmer's next steps will be critical. Meanwhile, the Conservative Party faces its own existential challenges as the debate over whether to align with Nigel Farage and Reform UK intensifies. John Major's warning highlights the potential dangers of embracing Farage's populist message, but the allure of his voter base remains strong. The decisions made by both Starmer and the Conservative leadership in the coming months will shape the future of British politics for years to come. As these two major political parties navigate their respective crises, one thing is certain: the political landscape in the UK is shifting rapidly. Whether Keir Starmer can salvage his reputation or the Conservatives can resolve their internal divisions remains to be seen. One thing is for sure: British politics is in for a turbulent ride.